get this underway. In the top left-hand side, our red Protoss. This, from Generic Green Wings, is SOS. Man, what a story this is. Kira is just en route to just eliminate every single Generic player from Kung Fu Cups. Rogue in the finals last week, Maru so far today, and now up against SOS. This is Kira in the bottom right-hand side, our blue Terran players. We get this started up, we get this going, and we look to see what will happen here in the next moment or two. So, game number 1. And obviously, you know, the thing is, Kira's TVP has looked amazing recently in online events. I am always interested to see what SOS is going to come out with, because I also feel as though SOS hasn't really been doing much lately. I know he's streaming right now today, but even his stream hasn't been online all that much as of late. So, yeah, really interested to see what he's even doing in TVP, right? Because we just don't see much of him dancing that probe, wiggling in its booty as it runs from that SCV there and is just going to stick around in the main. I mean, it would be very SOS-like to steal a gas, but don't think he's going to bother. There's not much benefit because, especially in TVP, you can get away to being one gas for a little while. It just maybe changes certain builds, but it's really not that crazy. And Nexus drops down from SOS, so he's just going to expand pretty regularly off of the initial gateway and then into that cyber core, using this to wall off this area as well. This is one of those wall-offs that is a bit risky though, because if an army gets up here and you get like tanks here, for example, that's going down, right? It's not one of those walls which you get up for free, it can't be denied, it can't be punished at all. When Skewer scouts this, you'll see, okay, well, you're walling off there. That's information he now has, so he knows the Reaper can't get up there either. So Kira is already working with some nice information early on. So that's the V pulling back. The Reaper will start to head across to the upper left-hand side of the map. The Reaper moving into the top left, obviously via the natural, where it's going to be able to... I mean, he already knows about the Nexus, so just a little afraid of the Adept already being out, which it isn't, so he's going to put a grenade. You can see he's very scared. Comes in, checks the building, sees it's Twilight Council. Good scout for Kira early on. Good start. Yeah, so far, this Reaper, everything at once, apart from, you know, maybe a few probe kills, but in a game at this sort of level, that's not really an expectation. But the Scout, getting out of here alive, those are very important features. That, you know, in that regard, this has gone very well here already for Kira. Look at SOS. Opens Twilight, will let the Twilight finish, but it will also build a Stargate out of nowhere. I wonder if letting the Twilight finish what the plan is there. So typically, if you're going to switch tech, you'll cancel because you want that money back to then invest into the other tech structure. SOS will let the Twilight finish, then build the Stargate. Maybe because he just wants the Twilight pretty soon after the Stargate. Oh, he goes Resonating Glaives. Ooh, so maybe this is just a build. Straight up almost, where he goes Glaives and Phoenix, and he just goes for like an Adept Phoenix timing. Phoenix Adept was like an amazing build for a little while. Let's see what he does with the Stargate. It will be Phoenix, yeah. Wow, very interesting. We've not seen like a Phoenix Adept timing for a long time. Obviously, Resonating Glaives, if you guys weren't aware, there was a new patch a couple days ago. Put Resonating Glaives back to its old use. So it no longer only activates when a shade finishes. It's always active, and it's a 45% damage or attack speed increase. Reaper Scout would be really nice to deny, but I mean, the Hellion already gets in here to see the Stargate, the Phoenix, and of course, on top of that, the fact that Twilight is also still there, so SOS is a bit all over the place because this Adept did not get rid of the Reaper, so the Reaper will now get a probe kill. And obviously, again, seeing the Phoenix is great, but not only that, this Hellion gets out alive, which is probably not going to do much more, but even just a bit of map control, some vision on the map that you wouldn't usually have at this stage. Well, SOS, I guess vision on the map might not be important because there's all of the gateways on the bottom side. I do like this decision to go Cloak Banshee from Kira, right? That isn't a bad idea because there's not really reliable detection up, especially because he hasn't gone early Oracle. Nice find on this Medevac. Those Wooder Mines, SOS is not going to eat a hit and will kill the Medevac off. Those Wooder Mines will be stranded. Now, the Cloak Banshee I do like a lot, but the question becomes, is the Cloak Banshee going to put out enough damage to actually shut down all of these Adepts that are going to be able to come across into the natural, for example? That's going to be the question. because it's going to be a lot of adepts. And yeah, you might eventually clean them up because your opponent can't fight against the Banshee. But when you've got that many adepts, you know, how fast are all of his SCVs going to die as well, right? You know, there's other things you have to keep in mind here. As we do see the few Phoenix down to the bottom right, they are gathering up, and adepts just continuing across towards the natural. So here he goes. There's just no bunkers, there's no preparation, there's no wall off here. So yeah, Q is just like SOS is just like question mark. He's like, where's your units, dude? Why aren't you defending? He's gonna lift the initial cyclone there, but he does lose one Phoenix already. I mean, damage just being done. That unit's lost tab is gonna rack up. The Marines are already dead. 17 SCVs already down. He's lifted both the Cyclones up as the Adepts get into the main. And I think, my friends, we just saw Kira die. The only thing you really have to be careful of here now is, well, first of all, these Widow Mines that walk across the map. But is maybe the Cloak Banshees counter-attacking could obviously do a bit. Like I say, though, the Banshees, they only clean up these Adepts so quickly, right? So there's going to be more SCV losses here before long. SCV is pulling to try and repair this wall off, but I don't think that's necessarily going to happen in time. Actually got a bit more repair on that than I expected. Okay, so maybe Cure will be able to hold SOS off for the moment, but well, for how long? Banshee's starting to run out of energy, so actually Phoenix even getting some of those kills now. I think you're in a position where as SOS you can just keep building adepts and just keep going for this. Yeah, it doesn't seem like this is very efficient at the current moment in time, but SCVs have to keep pulling, and you know, more adepts coming in, you just can't keep up with the production, I don't think. Although there's about to be a second siege tank. Phoenix unable to lift up that tank enough to actually kill off the first one. I mean, this is a bit silly, the fact that these Widow Mines are still getting kills here. Just switching between targets, that's going to waste more mining time of SOS. The longer you switch for, oh, and he finds 3 probes in the end, so it's definitely worthwhile. As we are going to be seeing the depths gathering up. So, I mean, the thing is, as SOS, transitioning from this is very difficult. But with the worker lead he has, it's definitely possible. It's not, you know, Kira has a 3rd CC though, so the SCV count is going to rise back up pretty quickly for him. What Kira doesn't have is a way to improve his army in terms of bio units, etc. So that is somewhat missing here. Looks like he'll wait for at least Revelation to be available before he'll go again. One Banshee around the bottom side, but this is actually, things is being sneaky, but well, actually, I mean, all these gates are here. What if the Banshee kills the pylon? Well, that could be a play and a half, as we do see this Banshee here runs out of energy, lifts up one of the tanks. We'll just get rid of the Banshee. First tank already went down, now SCVs are going to be in some trouble. The other tank wasn't even sieged up anyway, so the Adepts will shade by. He is losing the pylon that's powering all of his gateways, though. So SOS is moments away from losing all of his production. This wall-off is up again. There goes his production. SOS can't build anything any longer, so that's a massive play by Cure. And, well, down to 8 SCVs, I'm not going to say it's amazing, but again, he does have 3 CC to build back up off of. And now there's a Cloak Banshee across the map. And that will start by picking off the shield battery, so now it's just going to go unanswered for. Oracle's across the map as well will use its energy. In the end, Cure will type GG. The Oracle offensively is actually maybe just going to be enough to break Cure down. But SOS was actually very close to being dead here because he couldn't really warp in anymore. The Cloak Banshee counter was doing. And up a game in the bottom right-hand side, it is the Madman SOS, the Phoenix Adept, able to take the first game of this series. I mean, I don't think I've seen Phoenix Adept as a style, like, all in or macro, whatever, for a long, long time. As we set this up, in the top left, we do see our blue Terran player. It is Cure. Honestly, I don't know what Cure was expecting. He saw the Phoenix, he saw the Twilight upgrading, and I know it's not a regular build, but what else do you identify that as? Blink Phoenix? Phoenix Charge, maybe? I just don't see what you see there as Cure to say, oh, I'm completely fine defensively. And I mean, he obviously registered what he was seeing because the Cloak Banshee was a really, really good decision based on the fact there was not really any reliable detection being made. And even then, not even any detection at all, right? Because it was Phoenix first, not Oracle first. So, I'm just not sure what in his mind he thought that was to be able to kind of get going there. I think that's that's my question. I don't really have an answer because as far as I see this, I kind of look at this and I say, yeah, that shouldn't really. There should be some sort of sign of being afraid, right? It's a tough one to read because, like I say, it's not something you see every day. But I do wonder what he was just expecting to see based on the Twilight and the Stargate. Alright, so. We've seen the SCV heading down the bottom side. Does anyone know when Innovation will play with Super? That's already happened. It was like first round matchup. Innovation is Lee Sin Hyun on the bracket, Angry SCT. He's at the top. He's currently playing like Breaking GG, I think, still. He's in the same section of the bracket as SOS and Cure, which says he's still playing Breaking GG. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd maybe finished that and in his next match and he just hasn't updated the score. Then again, I do see his next opponent actually in the chat channel waiting. So maybe he's still playing like a really long series against Breaking GG. Which would be kind of surprising. Anyways, we'll find out more about that when we can. For now, the Adept here moves up to this naturally probe out to the right-hand side. Moving around as well. Factory about to finish up from Cure. So Factory about to finish up. Starport coming in now as well. And the Twilight Council in the main base from SOS. So this time, biggest difference is SOS just isn't being scouted, right? Cure does not open with the early game Reaper. He just goes into a lot of Marine production. So from the very early few minutes, this is very different all across the board. And, well, he's going to go Resonating Glaives again. He's adding on 3 extra gateways. You know what's crazy? I mean, he's just killing Cure before Cure gets to that comfortable stage of the game where he doesn't have to, like, you know, Cure gets into really good stages of the game, right? Like, Cure's really good at mid-game TVP. SOS just isn't letting him get there. At all. At all. Cure going to continue to be typing away. A couple more Marines on the way out. Medevac about to pop, and again, those extra gateways finishing up in a few moments' time. Two extra gates in the main as reduce the Adepts continue to move forwards. Resonant Glaives coming up, extra gates, again, just really committing into this most probable all-in from SOS. Here we go, Marines and Hellions are pushing, so SOS is across the map, Cure is across the map. Thing is, Cure is going to shut down the production. Lose the power on 3 gates already down. These Adepts go up. The Adepts are just not enough to end the game, though. That's going to be the big issue. The Adepts are not enough to end the game. The Marine Hellion force absolutely is. So that's the biggest difference here, as you see. Marines all the way up in the main. Hellions are going to move by to get some more probes. Yeah, these Adepts, they're just never going to do it. You know, they're never going to get rid of the Banshee that's popping out of the tank. And that was fine in the last game, but this time around, not so much. Well, this was not so exciting. Obviously, these guys just avoid each other and Cure. But that is still ongoing. That is still happening. So we will jump into this game number 3 now and keep you guys updated on that bracket and any updates we do get at any point. Top right-hand side, our Red Protoss player. This is SOS. Taking on the Blue Terran in the bottom left-hand side. Cure from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It's going to be exciting because these teams have got a tournament coming up. The China Team Championship preseason. That's coming out in, I mean, it starts on Sunday. 2 players from every China Team Championship team will be playing. It's going to be a great tournament, and I'm really excited to see who, for example, like Jin'er send. Do they Jin'er send Trap and Rogue? Do they send... do they maybe give Creator a chance to play? Do they send Maru? And then on the other side, you know, you got Cure's probably going to play in that alongside Dark from DPG. It's going to be a really, really stacked tournament. So that'll be happening from, again, this Sunday and Monday is the first play days. And then it'll continue through and it will finish in January. Oh, guys, we've got the fire alarm drill. You know what this means? This is officially the hottest series of the day. It is decided, so maybe it's because the builds have been so spicy. Maybe it's because this game 3 is going to be freaking epic. We'll find out, I guess. But the fire alarm has decided this is the hottest series of the day. We have that every single Thursday. Can't do anything about it. I always forget as well. It's a good thing I have to get up and cast on Thursdays a lot, because if I was still in bed being lazy, I'd be... I'd not be in a great mood. Being woken up by that. Factory dropping down here, reactor on the barracks. As we will just see another supply depot dropping through. Twilight Council in the main base. And for the third game in a row, it's a Twilight opening from SOS. But this is where the mind game is built up, right? Is he expected to go Glaives again? 3 games in a row, I'd love to say no. This is where you could maybe, though, with a Twilight, you've got to think about that as Cure. And then it could just be a regular Blink opening. But it's actually 2 Adepts. And the second Adept already, rather than a Stalker, sort of suggests this is again going to be Resonating Glaives. So the Adept comes down into the Watchtower over here, takes that vision for a moment or two. Command Center about to finish on the natural. Thank you so much, Themedy, for that Twitch Prime sub in the chat. Thank you so much for all the support. Really appreciate it as the Adept continues out and down through the center of the map. The Reaper coming through the top here. That's going to be popping up into the main base to try and see a little bit more of what's going on here. So there we go. Reaper hops up. Adept building. Cybercore Warp Gate about halfway done. And a couple extra Marines from Cure popping out as Cyclone. Going to be coming out as well in a moment or two. So all of this coming in as our Dark Shrine is just over halfway done. And we are going to be seeing the assimilators dropping down on the natural. So getting those up and running. The pylon on the base over here. So Dark Shrine's obviously very different. Maybe that's why you go Adepts, right? I mean, it's not a Stalker being produced, so it's not going to be Blink. That was the one thing we were told. It's not Glaives again, this time it's just the Dark Shine. So SOS is keeping this cheesy, SOS is keeping this spicy. And there's the proxy gateway to try and speed up some warp-ins at some point. But the Dark Shrine's already finishing up here. I mean, with more gates coming down, this is going to be more and more units coming out as Kira. Well, he's just going to be like putting down a bunker. Pylon's going to build... Oh my god. He just built a pylon in range of the bunker. Are you kidding me? Cancels that. SOS. I'm not sure what the goal is with that. Maybe to fake your opponent out. He's going to start going Blink DT. Hello? Well, a couple of DTs going to start pressing forwards and going to get up the ramp. No lift on the depot. Cure does have 1 scan available. Okay, he's got 2 scans available. Scans on the natural, needs to scan in the main, and he will do so. Still 5 workers. It's not bad for the initial 2 DTs, because now there's no scans. However, Engineering Bay will be finishing. So as the Engineering Bay finishes, obviously that is going to make a bit of a difference as well. Because now you can start those missile turrets. Reaper coming back home. I mean, Blink DT's on the way. He's going to play Blink DT in charge. So... you're used to seeing that kind of mass gateway Blink charge style. That's this. Only instead of Blink Stalkers, you got Blink DTs. Maybe SOS misread the memo on how the current PvT metagame is meant to work. He's like, oh, Blink charge mass units, okay. Just gets those DTs out. He's like, man, kind of weird you only play with melee units, but I mean, I guess it's Protoss, right? Can do what we want. Let's see what he does here. DTs very soon will be ready to perhaps blink up into the main. And that's the issue. Blink in the main here, right? And then once you've blinked into the main, you don't really want to reveal this yet. You want to wait so you can blink in and pick off the turret. Because Kira, okay, he's got 1 scan saved, but that's it at the moment. He's going to blink in for that missile turret here. He kind of tests the waters. I think it's too many units for him to justify committing to, right? What he can do is he can pick off this reactor, for example, and then he can blink out of here, races the scan. Takes a moment or two to actually blink out, but he does in the end. And now he's continuing to build up more Zealots and DTs. The more damage he does right now, the more he slows Cure's defense down. Cure only has 1 tank, 1 bunker. It's not a lot against this charge play. And obviously you can blink in for this missile turret. Scans now. Okay, there's 1 more available. But you could blink onto the siege tank and just kill that off. Results are going to go through here. What they're going to focus on, they're going to go kind of in the middle of nowhere. DTs don't know what they want to do. He's going to go up into the main base where they're going to fight Marines and Marauders. It's a lot of DTs. He doesn't break the bunker on the low ground, mind you. So I do feel like on the low ground it's a bit of a disaster, but it doesn't matter because in the main the SCVs are killing everything. Hewer will type GG, and SOS will advance through to the quarterfinals of the tournament. How about that?